you grew up in a household where you were expected to be perfect and to always make the right decision. And so whenever you would make a wrong decision, it would make you scared to ever make a decision again. Hey, Colkies, we are back for another episode. Let's change up the outfit a little bit. I have an idea. I feel like this works. What are our thoughts? Are we taking myself seriously? Because today we're talking about the fear of commitment. And so it's serious. We're very serious on this podcast. I'm Hannah, also known as HANAKATT. If you guys are new here, I'm extremely sunburnt, and so I have to wear loose clothing, which explains the shirt. But speaking of the shirt, it's from Gallery Stills. And yeah, let's talk. Let's chit chat, because it's summertime. It is hot girl summer, and I encourage everyone to go have a hot girl summer. I'm personally gonna be doing a toes out summer. What does that mean? I'm wearing flip-flops. I bought some Reef flip-flops, and guys, I have never thrived harder. Now, mind you, this is coming from somebody who I don't like showing my toes. I'm not a toes girl. I'm not a feet girl. I don't want to see people's toes. I don't want to see people's feet. Oh, you're at the grocery store? Why are you wearing sirepa? Oh, you are out at the club? Why are you wearing sirepa? Oh, you're at the beach? Why do I see your feet? Gross. No, I'm just kidding. But actually though, yeah, I'm living toes out summer. So that's been the latest happenings, and I want to chat about the fear of commitment today, because I know how horrendous it is out here, right? This whole dating era, this whole dating landscape, the dating apps, we hate it. Speed dating is the new way to date, but all the weird people go out to speed dating. Oh, you're at a speed dating event, and that's a little embarrassing. I'm not trying to meet somebody there. I don't want to, if somebody asks me, oh, how did you two meet? I don't want to answer, oh, we met at speed dating. That's so lame. I think we need to change the name. Why is it called speed dating? I know why it's called speed dating, but like, let's do a rebrand of speed dating. It needs to be like IRL dating, which like all dating should be IRL, but you know how it's changed. And so, yeah, I just wanted to chit chat about the fear of commitment, because I think I just want to like uncover why it is that we're so fearful and what it is that we're so afraid of, right? Because when it comes to the fear of commitment, I was doing a little bit of research, and we got some really wise people on the internet. And somebody had said, you are afraid of who you are within the relationship, and that's what you're afraid of committing to. Now, I always thought the fear of commitment was, I just want to be single, right? Like, I lose my freedom when I'm in a relationship, and I can't, like, do whatever I want. And, you know, I have to kind of, like, check in with somebody, and it's just, like, you know, another thing to think about. That's what I thought the fear of commitment was. When I heard this, it really changed my perspective, right? Because I think when it comes to being in a relationship, it obviously changes the dynamic of who you are, right? Like, in a relationship, maybe you're more happy or joyful or cheery, because like obviously, or at least I hope that you would be happy to be with this certain somebody. But, right, like that's just an example, but we all have our off days. We all have those times where maybe we're not so cheery and not so joyful, and maybe I'm trying to complain a little bit. Maybe I'm trying to rant a little bit. It's one of those days. But if you are acting like you're somebody that you're not, of course you would be afraid of getting into a relationship, right? And so I think this comes back to us, where we have to really look inwards and be like, am I acting as my true and authentic self, right? Because I don't know about y'all, I love when people like me. I'm a like me, and you guys know that test. But I'm a like me. I like getting people to like me. So I have a lot of friends. I make friends easily, and I very much value when people like me. Like, honestly, I get hella anxious. I get hella in my head when I feel like somebody hates me. Now, it's really dramatic for somebody to hate me, because why would they hate me? You know what I mean? But, like, that's just, like, where my brain goes sometimes. And so, when it comes to not acting as your authentic self, I think it's really easy. It is so easy to chameleon into the person that you know this person will like, right? I know y'all socially aware. I know y'all can read social cues. And so, I can tell you're a little bit sassy. I'll be a little bit sassy. Oh, you use a certain slang word. I use that certain slang word sometimes. Slay mamas. Oh, I found common ground that we both run. We're talking about LSD running. Right? It is easy to chameleon yourself. And I'm not saying that all those parts of you are not actually you. Everyone is allowed to be complex and multidimensional and have layers. But there comes a certain point where, like, maybe that isn't fully who you are, right? Because if you are a complex and dynamic human individual, then you know that, like, oh, my entire personality isn't running. Oh, my entire personality isn't slay mama. Like, I can go into slay mama mode and I can go into run mode, but that's not who I am 100% of the time. I think at my core, I'm somebody who I love people and I love connecting emotionally and getting vulnerable. And I like surrounding myself with kind-hearted people and people who are ambitious and who inspire me and motivate me. And I don't expect them to be like that all the time, but like those are some of the core things that I look for, right? And so I want you to ask yourself if the role that you think you would be playing in this potential relationship is a role that you don't want to play for the rest of your life, because that's fucking exhausting. We all know what it's like to not be ourselves, and that's exhausting, right? And so if you feel like you have to like fit into this mold that this person has built for you, and like it's directly going against your identity and whatnot, I implore you to ask yourself if you are playing a role, because that's not what it should be, right? I think a big part of love is meeting people where they're at. And so if you feel like you have to change in order for people to love you or like you, then like, what are we doing? That's maybe not the right relationship for you. Now, maybe some signs that you are scared of commitment. Signs. Okay, so this is self-reflection time, okay? I'm not going to do a whole checklist, like tally up your ish, like we're not doing all that. But let's just observe, right? Maybe you're careful with your wording, using the words might, oh maybe, oh if nothing comes up, right? Because if you don't ever commit to anything, then like they can't hold you accountable. They don't have those expectations of you. Are you getting invited to things on Partyful and then always marking maybe? Or just leaving the invite until last minute? Think about it. I'm not saying that just because you are one of these things that you are fearful of commitment, but if you are a lot of these things, I would just consider it. Now, do you also, in that same vein, not make future plans? Are you like, oh, that's too early? Or like, oh, I don't know if I want to go on that birthday trip with you, because in the back of your head, you're like, something cooler might come up. Think about that for a second. Maybe you fear being trapped. Do you feel like your freedom is going to be stripped away from you in a relationship? Could be it. Maybe you're having a hard time being emotional vulnerably. What? Emotionally vulnerable. Blech. That could be an option. Maybe you're having a hard time being emotionally vulnerable. Right? I'm not saying to open up to everyone, but you're safe people, you should be able to open up to them here and there. Ooh, something I'm kind of guilty of. Having a very, very, very long list of things that you want in a future partner. Almost to the point where it is unattainable. Almost to the point where if you are trying to find someone that meets every single thing on that list, you won't find them. Because nobody's perfect. And last but not least, do you get the ick and run away? Who said that? Who said that? Do you get the ick and run away? Oh my God! Who said that? Oh my God, it's something so small it doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, but maybe you didn't really like them in the first place, or maybe you're afraid of commitment, and so that's why you're running away? Oh my God. Okay, right, but like actually to elaborate on that, guilty. Sometimes there would be times in the past where I would meet someone and, things are going well. He's a gentleman. He would open the car door for me, would just like plan things. And then he walked kind of funny. And I was like, I can't live like that. I can't live with that walk forever. I'm going to walk away. Don't follow behind me, sir. I'm not trying to watch you walk towards me. And then there are other situations where they were cool. Right? That's an example of fear of commitment. But then there are other examples of like, oh, they were cool. But like, oh, you were late to every single date that we planned? Oh, you didn't actually plan the date. I planned it? Oh, I don't actually think you give a ish about me. I don't like ish as a replacement for shit. It doesn't hit correctly. Oh, you don't give a shiz? Maybe shiz. Oh, you don't give a shiz about me? Oh, you're not texting me unless I text you? And you have bad teeth? Okay, yeah, that's an ick. I'm gonna walk away. But you see what the difference is? Like, guy A, it was like, oh, he had a lot of good qualities. And he walked weird? Okay, that's small. That's minor. Oh, guy B, there's already all these bad qualities, but maybe they're kind of cute. And then you have bad teeth. Okay, maybe I got the ick, and maybe it's because I didn't actually like you in the first place. And so I should be walking away because it doesn't seem like a good and healthy relationship. And so, right, you got to distinguish between those. So maybe those are some signs that you are fearful of commitment. But let's dig deep. Why are you fearful of commitment? I think it is very normal behavior to fear commitment because we have so many options. The world is our freaking oyster, right? We are highly connected to people around us. We are ever connected. And so the fact that we are so connected nowadays makes it so that there's a lot more opportunity for social interaction. So, right, the example of getting invited to something and not wanting to commit makes sense that you wouldn't want to commit because, yeah, it's true. There are other things that could come up that may be cooler or that you might want to go to. And so it makes sense that we have the fear of commitment, right? Because also maybe you grew up in a household where you were expected to be perfect and to always make the right decision. And so, right, whenever you would make a wrong decision, it would make you scared to ever make a decision again. I know that one's true for me because I think that I grew up with this mentality of I have to be perfect. I have to be the perfect daughter. I have to make every single decision the right decision. And so when it is the wrong decision, I kind of freak out. And so you know what? I'm not going to make any decision at all. I'm going to leave all my options open. Oh, this person likes me. Oh, but like what if this other person likes me? Who knows? So I'm going to not commit. Oh, there's a birthday party I got invited to. Oh, I know that somebody else's birthday party is this weekend and I'm really hoping I get invited to this one. I'll just leave my options open, right? And so maybe you grew up with this idea that you had to be perfect. But like I've said time and time again, no decision is the wrong decision. The universe will work around whatever decision you'll make. It's like, oh, my dog pooped in 2 different places. I don't really know where I was going with that. Honestly, I just started thinking about like the ants kind of swarming around the poop, and like that's kind of the visual I get when like the poop equals decision, universe equals ants. What the frick? Bear with me. You see the visual? That is the visual. I was gonna explain it in space terms, honestly, but like, I'm not educated enough in the space climate in order to come up with the correct analogy. So for now, poopin' ants. Poop equals decision. Ants equals universe. If I got any like graphic designers or animators out there, please go ahead and animate that for me. Send it over. I will love you forever. I don't know if I can provide you monetary things, but I would love to. Honestly, I'll support your art. And so maybe you fear making the wrong decision. The fear of commitment could also come from feeling that you're cutting off all your options. But something that a wise lady on the internet said, honestly, I don't remember the source, was when you choose not to commit to a relationship, you are choosing to commit to freedom. When you are not choosing to go to that dinner and like being wishy-washy, you are choosing options, right? And so when we think about that, I don't know, I just kind of think about how not being decisive and not choosing kind of makes it so that you lose out, right? Because what if you had a really great thing and maybe you lost out on it because you were scared, right? Of like losing your options. I don't know, like when you procrastinate your decision so much to the point where you no longer have a decision, the decision is being made for you. And so maybe you're committed to getting the worst possible answer. And like, I'm not here to like change your mind if you have commitment issues. Honestly, that's not what this is about. I guess it's just like, I want to be here to help y'all identify if you do have commitment issues. And if it is something that you want to work on, let's work on it. And so how do we work on having commitment issues? Practice, baby. This starts with uncovering the root of your fear, right? When it comes to relationships, a fear of commitment could come from past relationship experiences, right? When we find someone that we really like and we want to get to know them and we want to open up to them and they soon become someone who is safe. You start to love them and your relationship develops. When you start to get vulnerable, there's obviously the potential of getting hurt, right? We can only get hurt when we are open to love. And so if you've been hurt by love, by somebody that you thought you could trust, by somebody who you committed to and respected and saw a future with, of course it is possible to have commitment issues because that sucks. That sucks that you put your trust into somebody and thought that you were going to like spend the rest of your life with somebody to come and find out that they did you dirty or maybe they didn't believe the same thing. If you have commitment issues because of a past relationship, how do we work through that? Well, therapy, I think talking about it. And this is where you got to know yourself. If you like talking about things and talking it out and that's how you process, please do that. If you're a journaler and you got to write things out, pen and paper, baby, write it out. You want to write a little notes app diary entry? Go ahead and do that. You need to seek counsel from mentors or friends or a therapist? Go ahead and do that. But the first step is obviously in recognizing that you are afraid of commitment, and then really dig deep, get honest with yourself, cut all the fat and the bullshit, and like ask yourself why it is and what about relationships is so scary. And it's okay that it's scary. Relationships are scary. I believe that they are scary. It is scary to open up to somebody and scary to rely upon somebody and to potentially be hurt or disappointed. And so if it's from a past relationship, obviously we want to be good humans and make sure that like other people are not getting hurt in the process of us healing. And so when it comes to that, just make sure that you're healed before you go out and start dating again. Yeah, you can go ahead and give yourself a timeline of like, I'm going to be healed in 4 months. I'm going to get over this relationship in 6 months because I need to hurry up and get over it and get out there and start dating. But like, don't do that at the expense of other people. That sucks. Like, let's be good human beings, right? If you are not ready to commit or not ready for a relationship, why are we doing that to people? Or at the very least, communicate to them that you are not. That's only fair, right? I very much appreciate it when people are straight up with me and they tell me, oh, I'm not looking for something serious. And if I'm looking for something serious, then you gave me the option. Give people the option to make their own decisions. Don't blindside them and like trick them, because that's not fair. That's meanie. That's meanie behavior. And so, yeah, let's uncover the root. If it's from your previous relationship, or if it's something that you observed in other people's relationship, right? I think that a lot of our learnings and our impacts are, or how we're impacted, not our impacts, is like from our parents, from our grandparents, from mentors, from teachers. And so if you're seeing that maybe there are some examples of relationships where it's like, oh, they shouldn't have dated, oh, they should not have gotten together, then like really uncover why that impacted you so much, and maybe ask yourself like how your relationship could be different, right? Because if you're observing this from other people, that's not you. That's not necessarily you. And the next step is to trust your own judgment, right? Going back to the potential of why you are fearful of commitment, right? I often think that when you're a perfectionist, or you can't make decisions, or you're scared to make decisions or make the wrong decision, it like creates like, right, just like feelings of mistrust in yourself. And so let's work on building and trusting our own judgment, because it can only be you that knows what's good for you, right? Yes, our friends too. I am so thankful to have surrounded myself with people who are just like so wise, because they allow me and like put on my radar the blind spots that I have, right? Like I have blind spots. Y'all, sometimes I'm too nice. That's a thing. And so I think that I can like be taken advantage of. And I fully recognize that, but I don't really blame myself for being too nice. It's just I need my people around me to make me just like aware of that, and so I can kind of like move forward in that and like be okay, you know? And so whether it's surrounding yourself with people that you trust, and then like hopefully through that you can build your own voice, let's learn to trust our own judgment, because only we can make decisions for ourselves at the end of the day. Yes, I can get advice from the people around me, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever I want. Right? We all know those friends who they'll ask us for advice, but you all know that they already have their decision made. It's been made. And so people are going to do what they want at the end of the day. Next and final step, when it comes to relationships, let's get clear on what we want in a relationship. We all have different needs. We all have different personalities. And so we need to figure out what it is that we want in a relationship. Otherwise, how are we going to know it when it's right in front of our face? That's why I'm a big fan of like going through your values. That's a thing. Getting clear and writing that down. But then also it's different between, right, seeing on a list like, oh, I like someone who's curious and open, and being able to like evaluate that in a person. Like, I think that takes practice, right? And so let's practice. Go on some dates. I don't think a date will hurt. Obviously be safe about it, guys, because okay, a lot of the content, right, that we talk, a lot of the things that we talk about are around dating. We really, really, really need to be safe about how we date. I think it's very scary as a human meeting people, strangers on the internet. And so please do a good job vetting them beforehand. I personally will screenshot the profile, send it to my friends, send them any details. I will look them up and like send that to my friends and where we're going, and I have my location shared, just in case, because there have been just like so many stories of like, right, females, girls on first dates and like scary and bad things happening. So please be safe about who you're going ahead and dating. But yes, as long as you're safe, get clear on what you want. And like that takes dating. Like you gotta go date to know what you want. Yes, of course, for the lucky ones it happens in one time, and like, y'all, good for you. That's not me though. And so let's make sure to do that. It's summer. get a cute, like, flirty date on. You can, like, go to a park, have a picnic, go get coffee, go get a smoothie, go get an acai bowl. I know that's not how you pronounce it. I've been, like, kind of addicted to those. And yeah, if one of your goals is to get over this fear of commitment, then please do that. I'm here for it. I'm here for, like, learning and growing and being self-reflective and all of that. And so I wish you all a good and happy hot girl summer, or a committed girl summer, or an open-toed summer, whatever you want. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.